What it be, what it do, players? It's your boy, Cousin Roy, everybody's cousin, some people's uncles. And boy, do we have a show for you, baby. Ralph Rangnick is in. He just had his first press conference. He revealed so much about what happened in the last few days. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining and welcome to another episode of. And of course, I will press the wrong intro. Here we go again. Welcome to another episode of. Manchester United fans all over the world are smiling today because they have finally found a voice of reason and a strong voice to join them, a strong voice to lead the way. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Ralf Rangnick just had his press conference, I would say about 4.5 hours ago. So Cousin Roy over here was sitting down and watching it, and Cousin Roy, and I think many of you were absolutely mesmerized. The man spoke with conviction. The man spoke with power. You know what I mean? He did that Charles Barkley, and Charles Barkley talks, he put his hand down there. I'm going to guarantee, that boy was terrible, man. He was terrible. The Charles Barkley hand down. He did that Charles Barkley hand down guarantee, but it was like this, man. German engineering, straight back, good posture, very thoughtful, very intelligent, very, very smart. Just like my friend here today who's joining me, Mr. Junsen. What's up, bro?
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's
Bro,
up?
you know what? I think the jutsus we were trying to do the other day when you got the glove in, the special jutsus, it worked,
Mm-hmm.
man. Ralph
Ralph,
Ragnick came, we
Ralph,
summoned.
Ralphie, no jutsu.
Man, serious, bro. Like, it's like Ralph Ragnick is like Jiraiya
Mhm.
Sensei, man.
Yeah,
Just
man.
like,
Yeah, man.
minus the pervertness. So let's get into comparisons of Ralph Ragnick
hmm
is Jiraiya. That's right. Ralph Salsa is Garaiya. That's right. Let me
I'm
just put
just
that
waiting
up.
for the moment he cast and call upon the
Boom.
German toad.
We need the German toad.
Yeah, we need the German toad, man. We need all the toads. Sorry, we need all the toads to help this team now, man. I mean, you look at it. The last few games we've been doing okay, but like you said just now, man,
Yo,
the press
as soon as
conference.
the press conference, everybody's looking forward to it. Firstly, he said he was
Mhm.
kind of surprised it was an early press conference at 9 o'clock, but then because the game is day after, so he said the players who were playing won't be able to this one and all that. But it was like the village of Konoha called a meeting
Mhm.
and they had to summon a new Hokage,
Mhm.
right? Because the previous Hokage had to go because things were not working out. The Anbu they were citing the Danzo Mo. His special force all died in the war, and when he sent them to war, they come back, they are losing. So they needed a new Hokage. Man, what a choice, man!
Mhm. Mhm.
I look for, admittedly, I didn't know who Homeboy was. Like, honestly, and then we were listening, we were seeing the stuff they had in the back. He's coming with a very well spoken English because on his travels to write his books and to train the people of the Hi no Ishi, the Will of Fire, he
Mhm.
had been observing the Konoha village of Manchester United from afar for quite some time. So I thought that was amazing, man.
Mhm. No, I mean, even if you look at his press conferences now, um, there's a big contrast compared to Oli's style. Oli is more on, like, he's like more on the rara, let's do it good, let's do the
Oli is
spirit, and yeah.
if you compare Oli, which Hokage was he?
Oh, this one's hard to tell, man. This is really hard to tell.
He could be the Tsunade.
He could be.
Could be very
He,
sayang. He's
yeah,
angry, but he very sayang. Yeah.
he's very sayang. He's those good uncle, like, if you look at it. But if you
Okay,
look
that
at,
oh that means
yeah,
he might be Sarutobi lah. Oh, this guy is
I
Sarutobi, bro.
it could be, it
Actually,
could
this
be,
guy is Sarutobi. He's the third Sandaime or whatever. He's the third Hokage. Okay, let's
and
see. Ralph Nagi is actually Sarutobi. You gotta
there you
change that.
go. You heard it first from here.
Sarutobi Sensei.
Yeah. So the thing is, if you look at him, he compared to Oli, he sounds assured, and whatever he mentioned in his press conference, everything that is a reason, and everything there's a direction you feel, and you feel really assured when when you hear him speak. You know, he speak with content lah. Actually, if you look at it, he knows what he wants, he knows where to go, and he knows how to look at things. Rather than, we just have to make sure that we get it right with the right DNA, and we need to change the mood to be better. I mean, changing the mood to be better, I have to say Oli did his job. He raised the mood compared to the doom and gloom of Mourinho. But
Mm.
Ralph
That's true.
paint a totally different picture in his first press conference. Steady, you look at him, really
I mean,
steady, very
he
calm.
spoke about how the club,
Hmm.
had his DNA and all that, and how they wanted to stay
Hmm.
true to the DNA. So I had to stay true to our Naruto roots, and give props to the Ralph Nage as the Hokage, as Sarutobi. Now, on a more important note, or actually, no, I'm sorry, I apologize. Naruto is very important, but well, if we move on,
Hmm.
he was such a convincing voice that one of the things that he said that the club is actually having difficulty with is moving away from a club that was not control. I'll never say that the club is
Hmm.
Sir Alex, that a club that had one manager for a long time. He said he
Hmm.
has sees this in different clubs. Never, sorry, he has never seen it in other clubs except for Giroud or something he mentioned where
Hmm.
somebody stayed there for
Auxerre,
Auxerre.
the French
Oh,
team, yeah.
okay. And I
He
think
stayed on for a
maybe
very long time as well. I think he forgot about Arsene
Arsene
Wenger as
Wenger.
well. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think he
these
deliberately
three
left him out.
might have, maybe got some beef, French and
Yeah.
German beef football all back in the day. So he mentioned that has never happened. So it's very difficult to move on. That makes sense. It's very hard to
Hmm.
move on. Because I say previous managers have come. It's not like they've had a difficulty keeping that DNA there. But he said
Hmm.
with a club with such history is unique. He said the fans of the club are unique. So with such a club like Manchester United, you have to change the way the football is played. One, because of the way current football is played, so it's very different from last time, from the time he watched football. But I think what he was trying to say, we can bounce back, we can still do well because of what the club is like, what the club is for. So that yeah, so yeah, that was the thing. Yeah, I'll share the link.
Hmm. So I mean, exactly what he said just now. I mean, he did his homework. He actually did his homework. He did it really well. He even brought up the Munich disaster, and he said, "Oh, it's like the same year I was born. I can remember it." And he did say a lot of things about like how he follows English football. Back in the day, during his uni days when he was studying in UK, and he said he was studying in Sussex, and then after that he traveled. He was studying in Brighton, right? In Brighton, then he traveled.
Brighton,
Yeah,
studying
then
English, living
he
English.
traveled. Yeah, traveled all the way to London to watch
White
the
Hart
match,
Lane,
and
yeah,
Highbury.
Highbury, yeah,
Actually, he said he went to Goodison Park
Liverpool.
as well, right? But he didn't come to Manchester because a bit too far.
Yeah, I think Goodison Park or Liverpool. Yeah, either same lah. Yeah, he went
Mm.
there. Correct. Yeah, he went on the Merseyside.
So that's the thing. That's the thing. So we know that this guy he does his homework. He does a lot of his homework, and if you notice just now, even he can point out and he actually name players by their name, which is something impressive compared to even you said managers that's very meticulous like Van Hal. Van Hal even got Chris Smalling's name wrong. Uh,
What do you say?
he called him Michael. Then you
My
see Chris was like, it's like really
Michael over here.
Michael with Michael doing his job. Chris was like,
That means Louis Van Gaal treated them like meat bags. What?
yeah,
That's
lah.
why.
Maybe everyone is a Michael. Michael Rashford,
Goodness. Yeah,
Michael
he got that
Bean.
touch.
Yeah. So he does look like a professor lah, that remembers everyone's name.
Yeah, the fact that
Mm.
he said he has been watching the club. Of course, who doesn't watch Manchester United? You can hate all you want. You all be watching us now all
Mhm.
the time. You watch the Manchester United off and on. I mean, sorry, all the time because
Mhm.
it's a big club. He wants to see what happened. He said somebody asked him, "Did Chelsea try to get you here previously or something?" He said, "No, there were no offers. This was the only one that came, but the initial one wasn't so. This one,
Yeah,
then he
for
came on as a
interim, yeah, then he didn't want it because it was such a short term, and he felt that this one was like a better offer in a way for him.
yeah." So now, what he spoke about as far as the football goes was Ralph said that. one of the ways that we were playing is not the way that any manager wants to see. He said even as a fan, you
Hmm.
should not want to see the team play like that. So he said the Arsenal game was very chaotic.
Very
That
uncertain. Yeah, he said that.
just to sum it all up, right?
He said it's very uncertain. It can go either way. He said that's the last thing a manager would want.
Yeah, it's not the way you want to see your team play, because he said at any moment you don't know what can happen,
It
and
could
then
be a 4-2 or 3-2 or three
three
three.
two.
We don't
uh
know.
and even right at the end only, it's when
Yeah.
things sort of like was getting better. So as far as like him saying the team goes, he said he's confident in the team, but like hang on, what was this? Yeah, the management staff here.
Hmm.
Okay, so let me just read out what he said. As far as Carrick's resignation goes, Ralph said he did not know about it until 2 days ago when he found out.
Hmm.
He had an hour conversation in private to convince him to stay, but Carrick made up his mind ready to take a break.
Hmm.
As for one thing everyone knew, he said it's hard to get anyone good because they are all either tied up with jobs that they are in long-term contracts in. And this is the quote that I put on the Facebook page, which was one, two, three, one, two, or maybe three people in the next few weeks to help would be nice, but it's hard to get. And he says this not just talking about coaches; he was talking also about people who worked with him, who he wants to work with, who are football analysts, assistant coaches, and pundits.
Hmm.
So what I'm getting, I want to ask you, bro, is I think he's already looking at people to come in and help him, because he may be looking at a long term thingy here, which means that the coaches that we are looking at now that to come and replace him, like Pochettino or Tan Hag, whatever, might not even be in the loop. What do you think?
There is a possibility, and
Right?
you notice how he actually avoids the question just now by saying that, you know what, there's nothing has been mentioned or no conversation about this. Come on, lah, you signed because you already have that the whole 2 years, the consultative job, yeah,
Consultancy.
and then potentially become a full time as well. There is always a chance. There's always definitely there's some content in there that he will say, no, is there a chance for me to be a permanent coach? I'm pretty sure that conversation has been there, but of course, he cannot do it that way because it may look bad on the higher ups as well, the management. So he just say, no, let's just give it a go. And also, he's covering his own butt, lah, I mean, in a way, because by doing so, if things doesn't turn out well, he can just say, yeah, I'm just here for an interim. That's it. I'm done. I'm off by the end of the season. So it is a very safe answer for him actually.
This is where I don't know. It just suddenly came to my realization as I said. That's how it works. Sometimes when you
Mhm.
speak things out, it suddenly just comes up. That's
Yep.
how your mom will teach you when you're young how to study. So I realized that if he wants people to come in now, it's very hard because they're long
Mhm.
term contract. He did not say no. I don't want anybody. These are the guys to work with.
Mhm.
That's what got me. Second one got me that he actually wanted Carrick to stay, but I was thinking, okay, maybe that means before he came in, he tried to get his other people. His other people couldn't get out of their contract, so that's why a good PR thing and a good club thing to say is I'll stick with the people who are in here now
Mhm.
because he needs their experience, which is true. But Kieran McKenna can throw away their clipboard already because no one's going to follow his fucking tactics. He can go and collect towels and give people. He can be the water boy already from now. That's 100%. So like
The real professor is in the house, man.
the people in the house, bro, get out. So
He
like
don't need clipboard. He's
to,
going to use the blackboard straight,
that's it.
straight the blackboard, man.
That's it, bro. You are going. Ralph is back to the academy to teach the
Mhm.
kids in Konoha, already, bro. You are
Mhm.
like Iruka Sensei, already. You ain't gonna be on the side there like Kakashi. He ain't Kakashi, no. Kakashi probably
You,
be
you
carried.
just had
Carried gone
to,
already.
yeah, just make coffee for Ralph.
That's
Boss,
it.
coffee,
That,
boss.
that's it.
Do you
So
need me to bring paper?
yeah. Well, you let me send some messages. How hot you want your ramen? How spicy you want your ramen? So when I look at all these, right, I'm looking at incidences where if you think if he said he needs the current staff now to help him with his
Mhm.
experience, and of course he said hard because to kind of remove that from the equation. But
Mhm.
if after 6 months he's going to just move into a consultancy role, it'll be very hard because once you get that taste of managing Manchester United, it's very hard to let go. It's not going to be easy for you to just like give it up. And what if you finish in second or third place and we are in the Champions League next year? and then he managed to get the player he wants next season. You wouldn't say, okay, now let's bring another manager in
Hmm.
and then let him take charge. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, you have a taste of the cake already. You will want to have a little bit more. And looking at Ralph, this is by far the biggest role he has ever hold. As much as he actually, everyone say, "Oh, what about Schalke? What
Mm,
about Schalke? What
please lah.
about Schalke?" Yes, I mean he did face United about 10 years ago when the both team met. I kind of like vaguely remember him during then 10 years ago. Yeah, I mean he did face us with the Schalke team. He actually managed to turn them around and go all the way, in the Champions League. So
Mm,
that's about it. That's the biggest he has ever gone. So the thing is, now that you have a taste of United, come on,
very
you will
hard to
just
let go.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I think maybe if he had the chance to bring one or two of his assistants this season, he might have brought that he might have brought them in. If okay, moving on to the next topic. Now this is something interesting that he mentioned, and
Mhm.
I'm going to bring in Matthew. Though, what's up, Matthew?
Yo, what's up, everyone? What's
Now
up?
check it. Now check it. Rangnick said Ralf Rangnick.
Rangnick,
Rangnick
Rangnick,
said
Rangnick, Rangnick.
coming to the Manchester, talking about our squad now, coming to Manchester United squad now, he said our squad, this squad, he said he's coming to the Premier League where you have one of the best managers in the world, and that best manager that he mentioned was Klopp. He said, but if you look at Klopp's team that he had when he came to Liverpool at the time and compare it to the club, to the team that Manchester United have now, this Manchester United's team is stronger. He didn't say in that way lah, but I'm paraphrasing lah. He said
Mhm.
our team is actually stronger than the team the club had 5 years ago. So that gives me some confidence in the fact that actually he's telling us, look, y'all have some kick-ass players. Y'all just don't know what the hell y'all been doing.
Yeah, I mean, he did mention also. He said, remember when they're asking about Erling Haaland, about the contract, him getting Erling Haaland come in. He said, "Look at the firepower that we have, the attacking power that we have. I don't think we need anyone at the moment. It's just have to
Correct.
get them to work correctly, and I think we can be quite a powerful team as well, attacking wise."
Yeah, he said the key in this team now is trying to move the ball from the back to the front in the most efficient way where they have all their weapons and assets. That's what I wrote until I lost all my notes. My bad. So one of the things he clearly said was playing the trying to play the football. And he said it's not just about pressing, because someone asked about Ronaldo, right? And then he said, look, Ronaldo's 37, but look how he played in the second half, that
He
energy,
doesn't
that's
look
just
like a
incredible.
37-year-old.
Doesn't look like 37-year-old. So he said he's amazed. And I didn't see any lie in that voice. Second thing is, he said, so now our strongest weapons and assets are front. So the key here in what we're trying to do is trying to, oh, it dropped. Okay, never mind, he'll probably come back. So the key here is to get the ball in the fastest wave or in the most efficient way from the back to the front, playing vertical football, not horizontal, whatever, horizontal football, and then using those weapons and assets in order to get yourself and use and to win games. Man, I love that.
Mhm. So the thing is, you see, like for him also, he actually found. I mean, he's been studying the team for a while, and then if you look at it, I'm pretty sure he watched the Chelsea match. I'm pretty sure he watched the Villarreal match, and I mean, of course, he watched the Arsenal match as well. He was there. So the
Mm.
thing is, from there itself, sitting on top near the director's box, he's able to assess the team, especially on the game itself. You can see, he get to see what is the strength of which player, at least during that game, that few games. And the thing is, remember the last time when the season was first starting, when we got Sancho before Ronaldo came in, I said when I look at his starting lineup, it's a lineup that I'm freaking proud of, man. I'm pretty sure he felt the same thing as well. He said the chance. I mean, if I were Rangnick, right? If I were to see this attacking force that I have, especially now with Ronaldo up front as well, I mean, for me, it's like I'm excited to actually work something out and imagine my this team can click and play my style and can become the powerhouse that we are. We are unstoppable.
Matthew, what do you think about the press conference?
Uh, I didn't watch fully it, but I saw the press release on it. Okay, looking at it is very positive. It seems like he did a lot of work behind before he coming over. He even say he spoke with Ole for more than about half an hour, 1 hour plus, close to 2 hours, just to find out a lot of things inside out about the team, the players and everything. And then he have a look. He even have a look at all the players' stats and documentation. What are the information all about the players? So he has done a lot of things behind before he came over. So he's ready. It's just now the ball is throwing back to the players. Are the players ready for him? That is the key that I'm worried right now. And then knowing that we do have some players that is not playing for the manager. That's why we got some managers sacked previously. All right. Uh, let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. Because we all know Ralf Rangnick is a strong manager.
Now, as far as talking about the squad, right? He said the squad is big enough, but maybe after Christmas only they'll talk about transfer. Because someone brought him in and asked about transfers and all that, and then I don't know. When I heard this, I thought it was a bit of a stupid question. Actually, I was kind of, oh crap, some internet issues. Yeah, I felt that it was kind of a weird question because number one. When I heard the fellow say, "Will he come in?" What he thought, and then it was followed immediately by it was followed immediately by, "Will you be getting a bonus?" Like, bro, even if he's gonna get a bonus, right? He's not going to tell you. Okay,
Yeah. It's
nobody's
like
gonna.
you're asking Mino Raiola to come in. Hey, how much you getting for your agency? He won't tell lah. Come on lah. He will tell you, got lah, 5%, no? Five
Bro,
percent, 5%,
I was
5%.
like, man, look, Haaland, all that Haaland coming and all that. I know when he was asked about it, he didn't. I mean, like he said in the January transfer window, he doesn't believe there's any good trans good value.
Mm-hmm.
January transfer window, there's no good
Okay,
value.
and he said the one
Too
keyword,
expensive.
from my experience. From my experience, January transfer window don't usually get really good deals in January transfer window.
Yeah,
So
so we can forget about like anything, anyone exorbitant. He said, with the squad being so strong now, you want to bring somebody, you want to guarantee he can change the team, and then
mhm,
that's when what just before we went on, you brought up that point
mhm.
there, bro. Mason Greenwood, Lingard, I don't know. They still haven't played. What's the other fellow's name? Huh? It eludes me now. The Martial. Both
Marshall.
haven't played in front. So what else you want Haaland for?
Exactly. There's so many firepower. I mean, don't not just Greenwood and Martial. What about Ilanga? What about Shoretire? These two young fellas that's in the team, they are waiting to come on. And there's one more guy actually. He just got injured. Hugh Gill. The forward, the power forward. Pula.
Power forward. Yeah. He plays for the Lakers.
Yeah, I mean, the big forward, I would say. The
Yeah.
guy is like 6'3" and he's like 19-year old, and he's like scoring non-stop in the under 23. So there's a lot of this kind of players that is coming through the ranks, and there's a high chance that Rangnick will actually use them as well because he, like he said, he wanted to have a more youthful team to play up front simply because his philosophy is this: I want to play football. I want to make sure that they can play the football that I want. I want to groom them to be world stars. You see, like how he did with the Salzburg and what was Leipzig. He produced a lot of stars. I mean, if you look at it, quite a number of star players has been spotted by his team as well. Him and his team. Of course, the biggest one so far is Haaland. And then, do you remember that guy, Dayot, Dayot Upamecano, is it? What's that guy's name? The French defender that was playing for I think it was Leipzig.
Let me check. You go ahead. What's his name?
Dayot Upamecano, Dayot. He's actually a very I think he's one of this hottest property about 1 to 2 years ago. At the moment now, wait, let me try to see if I can get him up.
Ayot Upamecano.
Yes.
Yeah, the club demanded a release clause from Leipzig at
Mhm,
42.5 million pounds. Upamecano's first game as a
mhm.
Bayern player. Okay, it's Bayern. Yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead.
he joined Bayern. So the thing is, again, these are the two biggest players that he have found.
Matthew got a
Not
lot of hang on, Matthew got a lot of background noise, lah, bro.
Oh,
Yeah, he's really loud.
wait.
Yeah, okay, go ahead, Junsen.
Yeah. So the thing is, he have the tendency of wanting to groom players, and I think it's because it's easier to groom them to his style of play, compared to trying to change the mindset of the older players. I mean, if the older player they have a good footballing mind, I'm pretty sure he wants to keep them, and also in a way brainwash them to his style of play in a way.
Yeah,
But
remember the part he said about like when I came to Leipzig, the guy came pick me up from the airplane, right? So, and then hang on, let me
they
put
say,
that the
and
airplane story.
the helicopter. He said,
Helicopter, sorry,
I'm so sorry,
helicopter.
my garden was I didn't expect you all to come for the helicopter. If not, I would have changed my garden a little bit or something like that.
Helicopters and gardens. Okay, let me get this header out here. Okay, now he said back in the place when the guys wanted to come and get him, the guy or whoever the Red Bull owner or whatever came and flew in the helicopter to call him. He said you can do it on the phone, and I don't want to come to the club. Then the fellow came in the helicopter, flew. They didn't know where to land, so they landed in some famous singer's house, a German singer. Met him there, and then he said not 1 year, screw 1 year. He said I want 4 years. But he said going there in the club, the problem at Leipzig was, which is not the problem here. The problem at Leipzig was there were a lot of players on fat salaries or good salaries, and they were going nowhere. So they knew they were already on the big contracts. They were already at the end of their playing career. So they had no enthusiasm to play. He couldn't get them in. That's why he said he prefers to sign players on 1 year and 2 year, first year, second year contract players. I love that. So that means there's always a chance for youngsters, for the he, no, she, the wheel of fire to be brought up. And that means you'll want to play more of these youngsters now and try to instill in them certain values, certain morals, certain ethos. Like he said, I know you say you didn't like the DNA, well, but I think you got to bring it back in now
Mhm.
or the word has been missing. And the way Oli spoke about it was very, eh,
Very generic
I,
lah. The
yeah, I
GDNA.
love, yes. This guy
This
speaks like he's building a car.
this guy speaks like he's the scientist that's going to be.
Actually, he needs to build a tank. Not, yeah, he's the tinkerer.
Yeah.
Well, no, sorry, I
Yeah.
don't want to use that. No, no, take that back. I take that back. I take that back. I don't
There's
want that word.
Ranieri, man. That, that,
I
that
don't want that
title
word.
goes to
Yuck.
Ranieri.
Yeah, this
They,
guy is
they,
some
they won't
genius. This guy,
Yeah.
they won't call him
he better
professor
be.
for nothing.
No, yeah, he better be the Tony Stark of rebuilding this team, man. I want some genius team with some tech, some good tech. Like right now, the number one robot will be De Gea. Definitely, like nothing can pass him.
Mm.
And then the Android is Ronaldo lah. So you got front and back, the middle you got to work it out.
Yeah, Ronaldo is. I would say he's like the android or the cyborg in front, man. He doesn't.
Cyborg, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
he
good. I
doesn't
like
get
that
old.
Cyborg.
He's built. He's built like freaking Terminator. And at
That neck,
37-year-old, I don't think he's human, lah. I mean,
look at that neck up.
He's gonna play beyond Carrick, man. Geeks, man.
Look, neck size.
I think you have to push your head back a bit.
I can get the headers, bro. I can get the headers, bro. Be good. I can get the headers. Man, okay, yeah. So I didn't have I like that. So he said I think coming in and respecting the history is great. Knowing about the football, I think is also great. But he's coming with so much aura behind him
Mhm.
that at this point, I think the players will buy into it lah. Like it's hard for the players not to buy into somebody like this one. The way they're hyping him up so much to be the guy who's coming to save the thing and kind of fix the thing. But
Mhm.
let's just get into some real talk here. The past two games, Carrick did well, but what was the big difference there? Matthew Namala, you talk like Tiki. What do you think? Be in depth. So, what was the big difference in the Chelsea game and the Arsenal game?
Seems like they're playing more in a cohesion team. The team play is much better, and then the pressing is there. Seems like Carrick know how to get them, instructing them, directing them where they need to be, what they need to be do on the pitch all the time. You can see Carrick is on the sideline barking at them, like, "Hey, why like this? Hey," then pulling them around. "Hey, you should like this," whispering to them like that. And even we
I'm so
saw
sorry. I was picturing Carrick's face with your voices now. Hey, well,
and not to forget,
Hey, faster, bro. Hey, faster, bro. Quickly,
go there, go
wait.
there.
Hey, run, ah.
Come back.
Cover, wait. Wait, cover, wait.
hey, do like this, this is the way you do like that, right? Not to forget
Sorry.
the notes, right?
Yeah,
Not to forget the notes, right? Not forget
Junsa, I
the
thought
notes.
I,
The
I,
notes.
I thought you were gonna say you just imagine Carrick having the Hokage outfit and the thing, and they could say his voice. Ah, shit, man.
Sorry, man.
Shit, that's good shit. Hey, no, that's good shit, man. I love that shit. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead,
Not
bro.
not
Floor is
not to
yours.
forget. Not to forget, there's a period where when the bed comes in and then he passed the paper to Fred. It's like telling Fred what to do, what not to do. And then it was being speculated in the
Yeah.
whole social media saying that they're
Yeah,
not saying that.
there's a lot of meme.
Like shit.
I remember seeing one meme. They they show the paper, mom's recipe to good onde onde.
Oh my god. The guys didn't hold back at all. They just went full on.
No, but I think the player that most improved in the last three games is actually Fred. To be really honest,
Mm.
and seeing the picture of how Carrick was embracing him, like some more Fred is so freaking short. It looks like like Papa, I want to play football. Then Carrick is
Mm.
like, okay, come, Papa, take you go play football. It looks like that because he looks like he's looking up like that. But the thing is, to be really honest, I think in the last three games, the player that actually impresses me the most, actually, in fact, is actually Fred. He looks like a totally different player compared to when Oli's around. He doesn't run around like a headless chicken. He around like a freaking pit bull. On a mission. The amount of times he was doing the high pressing is
Yeah,
impressive, to be really honest. The high pressing, of course, against Arsenal, he didn't really play that well, lah, but it was still good enough, compared to his other games.
yeah.
So I think
Can I
Rangnick,
even?
yeah,
Hmm. Go ahead. Go
Rangnick
ahead.
I mean, Rangnick may actually have quite a good team, like you said. Looking at it at the moment, if he can, if he can fine tune Fred and McTominay, and try to find a way to utilize Matic properly, and then if he can bring back James Garner in, MU's center of midfield looks pretty decent actually now if you look at it. If you want to compare to the likes of Liverpool,
Yeah.
Rangnick may transform them into something of a
No, but
midfield.
what was
Yeah.
the this one when we when we this one we shared on before we shared on Matthew?
Mhm.
What was the thing the change in
Mm, the-
in the Chelsea and the Arsenal game? Like in the Chelsea game, you said we seem to have more control. Is it?
Not
You
to say
said
more control. We have. It seems like we are playing more in a more directions. Like the players is like they're fighting for certain things already compared to previously when Oli is around. Players just like they doesn't have like a purpose in the game. They're just
so.
like
You didn't think it was anything to do tactically. It wasn't anything to do with tactics. It just felt like since Oli was out, the players played better against Chelsea and Arsenal.
tactically does improve a lot. You can see the players have more directions when Carrick stands in and then really directs them a lot.
What do you
That's
think
why you
Carrick
see
did?
the
Go ahead. Yeah, you're gonna get it. What did Carrick do?
because all this while Carrick has been running all the training sections, so the players are more closely bonded with Carrick compared to Ole. Ole is around overseeing and everything. And then when Ole tends to be trusting the players more. It's like, okay, I pick you guys. You guys go ahead on the field. You're gonna do for me. You're gonna do whatever you want to do on the field. All right, just play. It seems like I don't you don't need me to tell you so much what needs to be done on the field, what needs to be played. Yeah, the training section has been done. Everything has been done. So that's why Ole has been sitting there, then with the clipboard guy coming over, telling him, hey, like this, like this, like that, like that, like that. But nothing has been instructed after that on the pitch. It's only like back in the halftime, back in the dressing room, and this is just a 50-minute. I don't know what kind of pig talk also he was given there to the players. And then the second half is like a little bit okay, we changed a little bit, but you compare with Carrick, right? The Carrick taking over, right? There seems to have be more directions. The players seems to have Carrick has been barking them, telling them, "Hey, this one, hey, you shouldn't do like that. Just press more, press more." See, the pressing is
But
totally
the game against Arsenal, we let in two goals. What? Then lucky lah got that third
uh,
one there. We got the
yeah.
winner.
But the first goal is like, okay lah, the one Fred knock
Same
on
like the Chelsea
Didea.
one, so that penalty.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then,
Mm.
so that it was a okay. It was a contrast, isn't it, Junsen? Like we wanted to talk about this one, like the Chelsea game. I think they knew going in there it was a big one. So like I did in the in when I spoke about Carragher and Keane in the previous
Hmm.
pod. So I was
Hmm.
saying there, and I'll say it again here. Um, he knew he could not play Ronaldo in that game because not they're going to get hammered 5-0. And not to say we would not have lost that game because in the first 3 minutes they here already had to make two point blank saves.
Hmm.
So there was still some shakiness there. However, what happened after that was we scored the first goal and we were playing well. We got the lead and we did not concede any more chances after that, even though Chelsea were pressing very hard. And then we got very harshly done by because when the guy trying to clear the ball, a foot suddenly pops up in front of him, and then we got given a stupid ass penalty against. So I'm looking
Cheap
at it as
penalty,
the
man. Yeah.
cheap ass. I don't care what
Freaking-
anyone says. Fuck you.
Freaking cheap, man.
Even
Yeah.
even Keane
So
even Keane was saying it's not a penalty. It shouldn't be a penalty also.
but I thought he said it was a penalty.
Uh,
He said
it
it
wasn't.
shouldn't.
It
Yeah.
shouldn't.
Anyway,
Shouldn't.
so oh, he said it shouldn't. I thought he said well, okay. Anyway, I think he no Keane said it was a penalty. He
Then I
said the
forgot
boy
to
shouldn't have
say.
been should have been doing that, isn't it? Anyway, y'all can check it while I this one. So yeah, King will say all sorts of shit. So
Yeah.
that game seemed like some control was there. I don't know. I can't put an. If I have to put it down to something, I would say it was the 4-3-3 and not playing Ronaldo in that game. Forget about it. Like Keane says, we want to win the game. Ronaldo to win the game, and then he tells Carragher that, oh no, but he's not here to win the league. I don't know what the f Roy Keane's trying to talk about Roy Keane. When Roy Keane gets into a corner, that's what Roy Keane does. So sorry,
Hmm.
Roy, I love you, man, but bullshit lah on that point. So that's number one. The Arsenal game looked very open. Yeah, the goal went in, so we end up chasing the game. Some lovely goals, man. I gotta say, I was like, yo, that's what's up. Bruno, I don't know whether to say he was invigorated or whatever, but he was playing okay. He managed to
Oh,
run. I
yeah.
was very
Keen,
disappointed not to
yeah, Keen say it's a
right.
penalty. Keen say
King
it's a
said
penalty.
King said it's a penalty, right?
Is a penalty.
He said Bisaka shouldn't be doing all that or whatever. So what the hell is King talking about? How the hell can he say that's a penalty? Like if he was there and then he tried to kick Bosan, put leg in front of him, he's gonna tell the referee, oh yeah, sorry. He's gonna chew the referee's ear until it melts. So
That
yeah,
wasn't Keane. I'm mistaken. It's one of the ex players.
yeah, that's okay. Yeah, it doesn't
Voiced out.
matter. Yeah, so
Mhm.
very hard done by. So I still see two contrasts. I do not know whether to put so much faith in Carrick and say, hey, you know what? Based on those two games, I think Michael Carrick actually could be the shit.
Mhm.
Because Solskjaer kept losing 5 games out of 7, with one draw and one win. Well, Carrick played two of the toughest teams in the league right now who are playing better than us. And he got
Mhm.
one draw against the team leaders and a win against Arsenal at home. For a while, I was convinced, but now I'm speaking out loud. I'm not so sure. In a way, I want to thank him, and maybe I think you can go, and I hope Ralph brings somebody in. So that's what I felt in the game. Junsen, what do you think? Like Chelsea and Arsenal.
I mean, of course, this game you can see that Carrick has more freedom of expressing himself in terms of tactical changes. But again, it's still the same fellas making the same decisions. It's the same team. Actually, it's just without this one more person. Maybe without the chief motivator of Oli lah. I mean, he looks like a those motivator. Good motivator kind of boss kind of thing. Oh, come on, guys, let's do it. Let's do it. Do it. How to do it? You ask Carrick.
Hmm.
Nah. Okay. So the thing is,
And the team lineup, do you think?
yeah.
Okay, did you think it was a bold move to keep Ronaldo out in that Chelsea game, or should have
I
played him?
It was
I
a bold
have
move. Bold move.
yeah. It was a bold. I think he was trying to make a statement, lah. Carrick. He was trying very hard to make a statement to show that hey, I'm the interim boss at the moment. Sorry to make that voice. He doesn't sound like that, right? How does Carrick sound like it now? I'm the interim. That's Beckham.
Now we got to ask Matthew. Matthew, how does Carrick sound?
Anyway,
Fail.
yeah. So
As far as impressions go, this is not an impressions show, guys. I
so
apologize for
yeah.
their failures.
I'm so sorry. I'm not an actor, so everything you see is
Mm,
real. So
sorry.
um So the thing is, I think he was trying to make a statement by leaving Ronaldo out, and that could be
Huh.
also a second reason because he's trying to save Ronaldo for the Arsenal game. Like I say again, in the last this one whole week we are going to play 3 games consecutively, especially now you
Yeah.
see Chelsea on a Sunday night, and then we play on a Friday morning, and then we're going to be
Thursday.
playing on a Friday morning for us lah. This
For
morning
us.
lah.
Yeah, it's
Ah,
this
Friday
for us.
morning
Thursday.
for us.
Okay, and then
Then
they're going to
Sunday
be
morning, Sunday night.
we
Sorry.
Malaysian lah. We use Malaysian time lah.
Okay lah,
Why?
okay lah, okay lah.
I didn't hear what Matthew
So
say. He said afternoon. No,
yeah.
okay, and then
And then you're going to be playing on Sunday night again. So it's going to be
yeah.
back to back. It's going to be quite straining for the players, actually, to be honest. And especially if you look at it, the 3 games that we are playing is no easy games. Chelsea,
Yeah,
Arsenal,
That's why he said tomorrow no training, right? Go ahead.
yeah.
Sorry.
So and then Sunday is going to be Crystal Palace, and we know that Crystal Palace has been performing quite well with Vieira on the helm, and
Mm.
I'm pretty
They
sure
should get a
we
win because
yeah I'm
they're on the down, right?
Yeah,
They lost.
yeah, they're on
They
the down. Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
they
yeah,
lost.
yeah.
They recently has been losing their form, but again, anything can go against MU. You know, MU is the
mm.
team to beat. Until today, people still
Yeah,
want to beat MU. So
Yeah, they beat
anything can
City.
go.
They can do they'll be motivated
Correct.
to do the double here. So
But
I saw
that
some
yeah,
encouraging things there because I think maybe in one way, maybe like you said, to your point there, it felt nice. The players might have felt nice that them Solskjaer was not there.
mhm,
They might have
mm,
been a bit invigorated, and I think
mhm,
it might have been a collective. I mean, except for Ronaldo, he want to win every game, probably throw
mhm,
pouty face. That Chelsea, we better chill. Lah.
mhm,
I think they thought, and then I think the wake up call was in the first 3 minutes there when the two chances, the point blanks he has to save. So I think that there was a wake up call, and then they say, okay, we better hold up. The playing the youngsters up front was brilliant. Those two
mhm,
boys really, stepped up. Then you bring in the subs lah. Arsenal
mhm,
game was just too topsy turvy for me, bro. I was so pissed off when the first goal went in, thinking we need a little bit of luck. We're not getting that. Everyone said you need to win the league. You need to be good. You need to be a little bit of luck here and there. We're not getting that. We're getting all kinds of shit luck, shit goals, shit calls. VAR calls or whatever
yeah,
calls, normal calls, and
yeah,
then the game was back and forth. Heart attack, heart attack. I said, yeah, he scored another one. And lucky we got another one, so cannot. Like Ralphie said already, we need to learn how to get some control. So I hope
control.
he,
Mhm,
like you all said, no, he knows. Okay, like Rio said on his podcast with Carlos Queiroz, he used to teach us where he said, okay, throw the ball here, now you all must move this way. Throw the ball in a random direction, no, now you all move this way. Hopefully, with the players that
yeah,
we have now, he's able to do that because I say the football is so different now than back then.
mhm. And then
yeah,
he did mention also. I think one of the analysts was saying that how not even analysts. I think there's an old video of Ralph. He was saying that how the key in winning football game is not just with the ball, but when you're not having the ball as well. How do you
yep,
position? Where do you press? Who to go? What to do? You can see that it's very that all like you said to the extent the nitty gritty part of it it plays a lot, and you can see that even like what Ralph was saying earlier just now, like you mentioned also his backroom stuff, he may want to bring in some analysts as well. So
yeah. He planned to
it's
bring his analyst to come in, who is with him in Lokomotiv Moscow, but unfortunately, the fellow says like, "Oh, I'm just joining. Nah, it's okay next term."
Yeah,
So
he mentioned here, and yeah, we were talking about it earlier where he said that if there was anybody out there, they are in long term contracts, cannot be in anyone. He can be in
Mhm.
yeah,
Bulma. This one Bulma, is it? Bulma can
This one is
sign up.
Chi come.
Chi can bring Chi income. I just started reading Dragon Ball a few days ago just for fun. I never read it. Just start reading. I don't want to watch. I want to read. So yeah,
Mhm.
I think we need Bulma and Chi there cheer these guys up.
Yeah, man.
Like team mascot, team pets. Definitely bring cheer. Can put them, during the matches. Maybe but we need to put earmuffs. Like sound be too loud. But then who what loud? No one's cheering. What? No, nobody's cheering. But yeah. To that point, right? I he said there's not going to be any training session today for the players who played the other day. But he said what is important is not just the training of the body physically, it's also the training of the mind. So
the
hopefully there
brain.
is something that of the brain. So hopefully there's something that he can bring in there and against this game against Crystal Palace there can be some goodies and let's get into this whole Crystal Palace thingy. Just I'm going to bring
Yep.
it up.
Mhm.
But hey, hold up. Before bringing that up, boom. saw that my
All
jutsu,
right.
my substitution jutsu. Immediately, like, what else? Just substitute all your faces out. Hang on, let me remove the name thing. We don't want to see names. We all know who you are. Cousin Roy,
Mhm,
what's up, yo?
mhm.
Okay, look at that.
Look at that, man.
Isn't that beautiful, man? You guys, look, man. Everybody tuning in, all one of you, share it, subscribe, tell the whole world, man, about it, man. You're missing out, man. Look at that, man. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful or what, man? That's amazing. So,
Mhm.
Vincent, all yours.
Yeah. So the thing is, we look. I mean, the reason why I chose this lineup is simply because looking at a lot of factors as well. And number one, of course, the players' fitness level, because they just played on a Friday morning. I mean, our time again, huh? Friday morning. And then the thing is, they're going to be playing on a Sunday night. So they literally, even Ralph was mentioning earlier just now, literally they only have one training session. They're going to have only one training session. So, um, I feel that he will not rock the boat so soon. He may still want to stick back to something that the players are still quite familiar with. But my only concern now is actually Matic. Matic is still holding on with his hamstring injury that he had. That's why he missed the Arsenal game. He's totally not even in the team. Because I was thinking, if you're going to be playing, my only concern now is actually McTominay and Fred. Actually, they've been playing. They played against Chelsea. They played against Arsenal, and now if they're going to be playing against Crystal Palace, I don't know whether their body can take it or not. And the problem is we don't have any other player to replace them at the moment. We don't have. So the only person I feel that we can rest is actually what I call Fernandez, Bruno. And what happened is that maybe this is a time we can bring in Van de Beek, and we know that Van de Beek is how we call that, the cerebral player. You know, he's a player that can think. He thinks very well. He's a very footballing minded player. So he may actually suit Ralph's style of player that he is looking for. So he may fit in into the midfield. Defense, Lindelof has been playing the last two games as well. So I picked Bailly to come back, and Wan Bissaka, I think his hand injury is back. It should be okay. Then he's back, and because Teles played two games as well, so Dalot will come in on the left this time around. Um, up front, we look at it. Martial, I think he will get the nod simply because um, everyone will get a clean slate. And I feel that he could do some damage if he's being told how to do it. All right. And I think Ralph may also give him some tips on what he can do. I don't think Ronaldo can start two games in a row like that, back to back. Most likely he will come in as a second half sub. So he will most likely come in for Martial. Lah. And I feel that Greenwood should be fully fit by now. I mean, the last game he was in the substitute bench, but it wasn't used. So I'm thinking that they were actually trying to save him for this match as well. So I have a feeling he may actually start this one. And you need someone to hustle the defense. And I feel that with Rashford being playing again, having played the two games as well, and Sancho having played the two games as well, they may want to opt for some rest simply because Crystal Palace is just not as big as a team like Arsenal or Chelsea. So he may want to start Lingard because you know that Lingard and Greenwood they have the legs at the moment. They have the freshness. They have not started the last two games, and they display a little bit. So this front three may actually cause some damage as well. But my only biggest concern is actually the midfield with Fred and McTominay, whether their fitness level is going to be good or not. But but there is actually another possible lineup if we're gonna follow how like Ralph actually plays his previous team, right? So he will actually most probably go with a 4-2-2-2, and this four two
Damn.
two two, yeah, this 4-2-2-2 actually is the same players.
Boom.
It's just that
Magic.
he may actually have that fluid thing where he played that it's not a 4-3-3 and he can actually be fluid and become a 4-2-2. I mean, we don't know how he's going to play because it could be a very it really depends on how Crystal Palace going to line up as well, because Crystal Palace, I think they themselves have one or two injuries as well, and they are also getting their not I mean they are on a downward trend towards their form. So this may be a little bit more solid pressing, high pressing game team if he goes for this as well. And we know that Van de Beek, especially the game against Watford, you saw that fella was like a dog unleashed lah, a bull or a bull uncaged, or how you want to put it. He was all over the pitch. He was doing everything that we hoped he actually was doing, and he did it. So we saw what he could do in Watford. And we know Lingard. Lingard is a smart player. He plays with, I say his footballing brain is actually very good. He knows how to find spaces and he's very good in pressing. So these two will be the forward presser to support Greenwood and Martial. So McTominay and Fred will just have to sit back and not go too far forward because they don't have the legs to play it for especially 3 games in a row. So that's why they will sit back a little bit and let the front four do all the pressing. So that is what I think. That's what I think that Ralph may actually do. So it could be actually either this or it could be either the 4-3-3. It could be either way. It could be either way. Or maybe it could be um these two formation in this one because you notice it's same players. Mhm,
Nice, dude.
mhm.
That's brilliant. Change it to the
Four
Matthew.
to
I don't
two.
know the background sound came back again. The 4-2-2-2. Can you put that? That's nice, huh? So this is
Mhm,
what he sometimes plays, huh? His
mhm.
formation, his style.
And this style, the key players is actually not exactly the midfield and the striker. The key players are actually the fullbacks, Dalo and Bisaka.
Ah,
Because
so
with this, they need some width. So what happened is that Bisaka and Dalot will actually move forward towards the midfield and to support the front while they are pressing. They come in from the wing to give some width and they do the crosses. And we know Dalot can cross. We know Bisaka, okay, like iffy lah, iffy. So, but he still can provide some width. So possibly could be this lineup.
Matthew, what do you think?
Most probably it's 4-2-2-2. Looking at Ragnick's style, right, he prefer this kind of way, or maybe start up with a 4-4-2 flat, the same midfielders, the four midfielders, and then slowly as they come 4-2-2-2-2. My
No,
biggest
so
concern, my biggest
biggest concern
concern
is uh,
Martial, because Martial don't press a lot. You know this guy, he don't even do defensive work. So it's like, is he the kind of players that Rangnick want in a forward?
Yeah,
Yes,
but if
no doubt,
yeah,
he got the
but
pace to run behind the defender. When the midfielders get the ball, so put in a true balls for him, he will run Ragnick. All right. Not to forget, Carrick also mentioned Cavani is back on the grass, so he's looking at his fitness also. We might have a surprise that suddenly Cavani pops up. And Cavani does press. When Cavani press, wow, we've seen
I
how he wants
gotta
the ball.
I gotta say, like Cavani, I just hope after this season we don't sign him again, lah.
No,
That's
lah.
honest, my
yeah, actually
honest feeling.
there's a rumor that he's Barca is actually looking at him.
Just let him
There,
go,
there's two
lah.
Yeah,
teams, Barca or Boca Juniors. So
yeah.
Yeah,
He looking,
I think
he
yeah he might
he
play
looking
good.
looking
Okay.
forward to go back South America already.
So no Ronaldo so no so your concerns are Martial doesn't press, but the rest of it you're okay with this lineup. Dalo at the left,
Yeah.
all okay, huh?
Dalot, yeah, okay. Because Tellus two
Okay.
games in a row already. Except Shaw suddenly say, okay, my concussion is fine. My brain is now solid. Any hit, I won't get concussion anymore.
Yeah, I would like to see Dalo play more. So I think that day he played okay. I think it's principal, but excuse me, I don't excuse me, I don't want to look down on them. Fred, maybe yeah, since he's playing okay the last two games in mid. Okay, just say you move Vanderbeek to where Fred is now, from
mhm.
Vanderbeek and Tommy. Then on the right side there, he has to continue playing Rashford or Sancho and then flip lah. I'm thinking that's the only difference.
Yep.
Only difference I would say lah. Unless if you get a 2-0 lead and there's 15 minutes left, if he wants to put Jones in there or whatever, but I tell you Jones will lose the ball.
You get injured
So
again.
he's gonna give me a heart attack if
He
Jones
and
suddenly
Bailly gonna
comes
get
in
injured again.
to play. Bailly is gonna get injured because Bailly is gonna have recovery for this boy. So I'm gonna be nervous as heck about that. I feel that if I don't know, like if he say he wants to play his best players, they say he starts Ronaldo. I hope he rests Fernandez and plays Donny. That's what I would like to see. And
Mhm.
I hope and I would like to see either Marshall or Greenwood play. So because Greenwood hasn't played because he was injured, then came back, couldn't find a spot, right?
Oh, no, he got
So
COVID.
He got
oh
COVID.
yeah, COVID. And
Yeah,
he was out for that long,
yeah,
so
he was
long.
out for that long.
Poor
Recovery
guy.
some more.
Poor
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
So if he comes back, I don't know whether he'll be on form. It'll be nice to see if he's back on form.
Mhm.
Martial was actually, I think Junson wanted to cut you in just now. You wanted to cut him just now at the Martial point because that's the only player Rangnick matched just now, right? One of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, but he did mention he did mention about Marshall. He when he said that they quite a strong firepower. He said Greenwood. Then he did mention Marshall as well. Um, Again, he may not necessarily. That's how he in the press conference he did mention he may not necessarily go for the pressing team as well. He is known for being the godfather of the Guggen pressing, but he may not go for the pressing team. He said, "What I will have to assess the team and see how we're going to play, and going to play based on the strength of the team." So there's a high chance that he may not even do the pressing thing. I mean, that can be one of his elements. He likes team that plays coordinated and things things as a team, okay, and
Yep.
work as a team. So um, it may not be an issue for him as well with Martial being up there. The rest of the five with Greenwood, Van der Beek, Lingard, Fred, and McTominay, they may actually do the pressing while Martial will find space and do his thing lah. So he may even unlock the true potential of Martial for all we know. And if he does that, I have to say I have to give him the biggest salute, man.
Not, not,
Because
That's
so
not,
far,
good.
how many managers are unable to unlock him? So many.
not to forget, Ranick said already, he's not a guy that fancy square passes, back passes. Whenever he get the ball, freaking just flock it out front, forward pass, even a diagonal runs or the through ball or whatsoever. But make sure it's a forward pass. So that may fancy Martial, right? Especially he likes to run behind defenders. Mm.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, I think the number one guy in that martial sport is actually Ronaldo, and like I said, so I hope this Cavani guy go got no point. Play one game, injured 5 games. Play
Mhm.
one game, injured 5 games. No point, bro. I already broken beyond
Yeah.
belief, man. So I
Yeah.
cannot put any faith in Edison Cavani. To be honest, I don't even want him to play against Crystal Palace. I don't want him to see him on the bench. I don't want to see him on the bench. I don't want to see him on the pitch. I rather if like these two boys here, Greenwood or Martial, are free, put them in or put when they be think about the future lah. I think if Rangnick will not play Edison Cavani at all, I think he will
Mhm.
say, "Look, thank you, but as long as this kind of firepower in front here with these youngsters here, we will keep to these guys." So last but not least, we got to get predictions. So Matthew, what are your predictions for the game against Palace? And
Mm.
by the way, just before we go, Vieira won't be there for the game. He just had to leave the training ground or the press conference or something on a urgent family matter.
Oh, just came in, is
So
it?
yeah, I was here. I don't know. I just checked it here, and how the whatever seamless. I'm just checking it real quick. It makes a big difference when he's not here. He's a leader and manager, and you always want him at the helm. We are responsible in these unfortunate circumstances. Make sure everything goes as smooth as possible in his absence. Highly respect. Rangnick say he's a highly respected coach, highly talented player. I want to play. If you get rid there more often, whatever. Nothing. Set piece, homophobic slurs at this one. Yeah. So yeah, I think Ocean Roberts or whatever the assistant might be there. But whatever, like, the strategy and all will be there. Just that he can't call the shots, and
Mm.
this just came in. So predictions, Matthew.
I will go for 2-0. I craving for a clean sheet. Come on, please give us a clean sheet.
Okay, Junson. 2-0. Huh?
Um,
It's our home.
I,
It's
I
home game.
home game. I think they will react. I will
2
give it a
p.m.
three nil.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go for yeah, home. I'm going for 3-0 also.
Oh, right.
All right. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, what a killer ass show. Oh, wrong button. Killer ass show. We got it all in, man. Like we got carried everything. We put all in. We got all of it in. I want to thank my guests for joining me. They are now tiny. They're all tiny. I made them small on purpose. Ant Man in the Quantum Mania. But they're trying to push them their way up, but I will not let them push them. I will thumb them down. I'll press them. I'm pressing them down. I want to thank both my guests for joining me today. Guys, remember, like and subscribe. Share with your friends. Tell your family about it. Tell your schoolmates about it. Your workmates. Tell your local MPs about it. This cousin Roy's talking Manchester. Once again, thank you all for joining me. Peace out.